January the 7th, 2022 Luang Phosri Suriya Khemarato's Satya Dharma Reflection. Let it be simultaneously with the awakening and plong, together with the essence of that which has nothing to do with the non-attachment, so that the mighty force or the anupap will be evenly in purifying samsara, in the way with the force, in the way with the force for the blessing. The uninvolved with Mai, with the non-attachment, simultaneously with awakening and brightening. Everything is awakened, everything is brightening, well with it. Then the blessing will not be in the way of being miserable. So that the blessing will not be in the way that is lifelessly. Everything is awakened, everything is brightening altogether, simultaneously with the essence of that which has nothing to do with the non-attachment. Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, is together with the awakening and the brightening altogether. Blessing with the force for the blessing, forming up the force for the blessing, well with it. Everything is awakened, everything is brightening. The essence of that which has nothing to do with the non-attachment is to be given simultaneously, together with awakening and brightening and samsara simultaneously. Awakening in the way that has nothing to do with the non-attachment, brightening in the way that has nothing to do with the non-attachment. It is the force for the blessing. It is the force for the blessing through Nirodha. This is not about dwelling within the power or the force. This is not only about the force within the force, contemplation within contemplation. This is not about awakening within awakening, brightening within brightening. Awakening and brightening in the way that has nothing to do with the non-attachment simultaneously. So that there will be the power or the force in blessing through purification of extinction and emptiness. This is the power to help blessing, to help giving ending for samsara. This is the force that help release and unwind, help unlocking for everything that is being stuck and being obstructed. Awakening in the way that has nothing to do with the non-attachment. Be direct to listen without complications here. Awakening and brightening in the way that is not relevant to anything whatsoever. so that it will be by the kind of Nirodha and Nibbana for the blessing. That which has nothing to do with the non-attachment completely, so that it will be a complete purification of extinction and emptiness. The awakening and the brightening is also fully. This is immeasurably awakening and brightening. In helping through the unwinding and purifying with the emptiness and extinction. This is the power of Nirodha, of the extinction, which is the blessing of Nibbana. This is not awakening within awakening. It is not only limited with the awakening. If it's based on that which has nothing to do with the non-attachment, then the awakening and the brightening, however it is, it will be without limit all by itself. This is not just being limited within itself. It is not about being limited to its conditions. It is not only limited within itself, within its condition, within its attribute. If it's based on that which has nothing to do with the non-attachment, well, it will be automatically without limits. The force of the awakening and plong or brightening will be unlimited automatically. It will turn into great compassion automatically, which is called blessing, by the Anubhav, the mighty force of the blessing, helping through the purification of extinction and emptiness. Therefore, the essence of that which has nothing to do with the non-attachment has to be well given completely, in the way without hesitation, in the way without being stuck up, without keeping it, without being afraid to give up the states of mind and the state of spiritual attainment. There is no need to be compromised with the maintaining, sinking and drowning within any states of mind. Well, to give the essence of that which has nothing to do with the non-attachment completely, absolutely. It will be deliberate cut through from being realms of existence within the mind and within spiritual attainments of the mind. Not to create realm of existence from the mind and from the Dharma. So that it will be Sunyata Nibbana, truly blessing. Well, to give the essence of that which has nothing to do with the non-attachment, absolutely and completely. So that knowing and seeing will not be made realm of existence. Then there will be simultaneous purification of emptiness along with knowing and seeing.
จะได้เลิกทรมานจะได้ไม่มัวแต่ทรมานกันในมโนธาตุมโนกรรมมโนวิบากอะไร
It will give ending to torment. They will not only be preoccupied with the suffering within mental elements and the karmic difficulties of the mind. Awakening in the way that doesn't grasp itself, brightening in the way that doesn't grasp itself, however, still awaken out and brightening out. This is the compassion and great compassion. Just form up the force for the blessing. So that it will be the awakening and the brightening of the compassion and great compassion. The awakening and the brightness shall not be dwelt in or fixated upon. In order to enable to purify the attempt to dwell and fixate within the awakening and the brightening, it has to be an absolute irrelevance to mind, to the non-attachment. Even the non-attachment is uninvolved with itself, is not relevant to itself. It will purify the delusion to dwell, to fixate, which is the realm of existence itself. Whatever that is being deluded to dwell and to fixate upon, realm of existence will be created with such a thing. Form and formlessness, body and mind elements, and Dharma. These are temporary creation. Mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, special insight, wisdom, and meditative power. Whichever types of these attainment of Dharma that is fixated and dwell in deludedly, that type of the mind, that type of spiritual attainment will be created realm of existence. That which is being dwelt and fixated upon will become samsara right away. Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, absolutely. Uninvolved with the non-attachment itself, absolutely. Then it will give ending to the attempt to dwell and fixate with all and everything. Well, with the essence of that which has nothing to do with the uninvolved itself. Then it will be purification of emptiness and the extinction without interruptions with anything whatsoever. Disregard, even the disregard itself. This indicates that the awakening and the brightening doesn't grasp itself. Even disregard doesn't grasp itself. Disregard even the disregard itself. Well to disregard even the disregard itself.
ไม่เกี่ยวกับไม่เอง
Uninvolved with the non-attachment itself, well with it.
มันจะไม่ใช่การเอาซ้อนเข้าไปในอินทรียยตนะที่มีอยู่เอง
Then there will be no grasping automatically for the sense and sense object that exist.
ไม่ว่าทิพย์หรือหยาบมันจะไม่ใช่การเอาซ้อนทิพย์ไม่ใช่การเอาซ้อนหยาบเอง
Whether it is for the humans or non-humans, naturally there will be no overlay of the grasping self.
ไม่เกี่ยวแม้กระทั่งไม่เกี่ยวเองเต็มที่ดีๆพร้อมตื่นพร้อมโพล่งพร้อมพละกำลังแบบไม่มีที่สิ้นสุด
Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself, well to the utmost, along with the awakening and the brightening, along with the endless force.
อุปโลกขึ้นได้เรื่อยๆการโปรดสังสวัสดิ์เนี่ยการจบช่วยสังสวัสดิ์เนี่ย
The blessing for samsara, to help give ending for samsara, can be formed up constantly.
อย่าโปรดแบบทั้งว่าตาย
Don't bless in the way that is lifelessly.
โปรดมันก็ไม่มีแรงจะโปรดอย่างเงี้ย
Blessing in the way without energy to bless.
ตื่นเด้ทุกอย่างตื่น
Awaken out, everything is awakened, everything is
ทุกอย่าง
brightening,
มันจ้าเลย
everything is shining out instantly.
อย่าทำเป็นนิ่งๆเนิบๆหน้าอะไร
Don't make oneself in the way with stillness or leisurely.
อย่ามาอิงอุเบกขา
Don't rely on the equanimity,
ถ้ามีแต่อิงอุเบกขาการโปรดไม่ขับเคลื่อนหรอก
because that doesn't proceed for the blessing at all.
มันก็มัวแต่ติดเบรกอยู่นั่นแหละ
It's always stop the blessing.
การโปรดไม่ขยับ
The blessing doesn't move. Disregard even the disregard itself simultaneously with awakening and brightening with all elements, all things, and samsara.
มันจะสมบูรณ์แบบมากในการดับล้างว่างล้างแบบรวดเร็วและฉับพลันแบบไม่ต้องอิงลีลาในประการใด
It will be completely perfect in spontaneous purification of emptiness and extinction, without relying on any styles at all.
โครกไปแต่ละครั้งก็ล้างกันไปเลย
Each brightening is an instant purification.
รองรับโดยที่ไม่กระทั่งไม่เองไม่เกี่ยวไม่กระทั่งไม่เกี่ยวเองนั่นแหละ
It's based on the essence of disregard, even the disregard itself, uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself.
เรียกว่ารองรับโดยนิโรธรองรับโดยนิพพาน
It is based on Nirodha and Nibbana. It's not based on the upathan or the delusive attachments.
ตื่นไปตอนไหนโผล่ไปตอนไหนมันก็ล้างกันตอนนั้นแหละลูก
Whenever the awakening and the brightening is formed up, the purification is right there and then.
ดับล้างว่างล้างกันตอนนั้น
The purification of extinction and emptiness is right there and then at that time.
แล้วก็อย่างมากมายมหาศาลซะด้วย
And it also affects greatly, tremendously as well.
ไม่ใช่แค่ซื้อคือแค่ศอกแค่วา
It is not only within near distance,
ไม่ใช่แค่โยชน์
or within kilometers distance.
พอมันไม่เกี่ยวมันก็ต้องไม่เกี่ยวเองนั่นแหละมันก็เลยไม่สะดุดหยุดอยู่แค่อุเบกขากับอะไร
Because of the essence of the uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, there is no interruption within being equanimous with anything.
ไปคาตรงนิ่งอยู่ตรงไหนเฉยอยู่ตรงไหน
It will not be stuck with just stillness or indifference wherever it is.
มันจะคานิ่งคาเฉยอยู่เร่แค่สอบแค่คืบ
Being stuck with only stillness and indifference, being limited with just round the corner.
สิ่งที่ไม่เกี่ยวกับไม่ดี
Well, with the essence of that which has nothing to do with the non-attachments, along with the awakening and the brightening. อย่ามัวแต่ไปอิงอุเบกขาอย่ามัวแต่ไปอิงสมาธิอยู่อย่ามัวแต่ไปอิงนิ่งอิงเฉยอะไรอยู่มัวแต่อะไรในอะไรเป็นเพราะเป็นภูมิ Don't rely on equanimity or meditative state. Don't be obsessed to rely on stillness and indifference on and on. The obsession with involvement, significance and meanings is a realm of existence. ไม่เกี่ยวแม้กระทั่งไม่เกี่ยวเองให้เต็มที่ไว้ดีๆมันจะได้ล้างในตัวทรงภพทรงภูมิ Well, to give absolute uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself, so that it will purify the maintaining of realms of existence.
ทรงนิ่งทรงเฉย
It will purify the maintaining of stillness and indifference.
ทรงสภาวะลักษณะ
It will purify the maintaining of the states and conditions of the mind.
เมื่อนั้นการดับล้างว่างล้างสังสารวัฏมันจะไม่มีที่ติดขัดข้องคาแต่ประการใด
Then there will be no obstruction at all in purifying through the emptiness and extinction for samsara,
ไม่คาด้วยความเป็นเพราะเป็นภูมิ
not being stuck by being in realms of existence.
ไม่เป็นทั้งไม่เองเต็มที่
Disregard even the disregard itself completely.
ไม่ต้องเสียดายความเป็นจิตกันแล้ว
No need to be afraid to give up the beingness of the mind.
ไม่ต้องมาเสียดายความเป็นสภาวะลักษณะแต่ประการใดธาตุขันธ์ธรรม
There is no need to be afraid to give up beingness of the states of the mind, beingness of the conditions of the body, and the beingness of Dharma or spirituality.
ไม่ต้องมามัวเสียดายอะไรในสภาวะจิตลักษณะไหนกันแล้วลูก
There is no longer need to be afraid to give up any certain types of states of mind whatsoever.
ไม่ต้องมาเสียดายไม่มันก็ต้องไม่เองให้เต็มที่
No regret, absolute disregard, even the disregard itself.
บ่งบอกว่าไม่ก็ไม่เอาไม่เอง
This indicates that disregard doesn't grasp itself.
พร้อมตื่นพร้อมโล่งไปดี
Along with the awakening and the brightening, well with it.
ๆอย่ามาแค่
Don't be limited with just the near
ขออย่าแค่
distance,
แค่เฉยแค่
attempting to be stuck with just stillness or indifference. The blessing doesn't proceed already.
จะบอกว่าทุกอย่างตื่น
When
ทุกอย่างตื่น
saying everything is
จะไม่
awakened,
แค่นี้แค่นั้นแน่นอนน่ะตื่นน่ะ
there will be no limitation to certain extents at all.
สังสารวัฏน่ะ
everything is awakened, then everything will be equally blessed.
ทุกอย่างโปร่งอย่างนี้
Everything is brightening
มันจะไม่
as
แค่
such.
นี้แค่นั้นแน่นอน
There will be no
ทุกอย่าง
limitation to
เนี่ย
certain
โปร่ง
extent at all. Everything is brightening. Everything is brightening. Everything.
กรุณาและมหากรุณาเขาจะมากมายมหาศาลไปเรื่อยๆเอง
Naturally, compassion, great compassion, will be proceeded tremendously and constantly. ทุกอย่างเลยลูกไม่เกี่ยวแม้กระทั่งไม่เกี่ยวเอง Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, is everything.
ทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างไม่ได้กัน
Everything
ไม่กระทั่งไม่
simultaneously.
เอง
Disregard, even the disregard itself, is everything. ทุกอย่างเลยสิลูกทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างเลยไม่กระทั่งไม่เอง Disregard, even the disregard itself, is everything.
การตื่นและโปร่งก็จะเป็นไปด้วยเอง
Then automatically awakening and the brightening will be there. สิ่งที่นำพาตัวเองหลงก็ตามนะไม่ว่าในเรื่องอะไรในโลกหรือธรรมหรือว่านำพาบุคคลอื่นหลงก็ตามทีจะนำพาตัวเองหลงก็ตามนำพาบุคคลอื่นหลงก็ตามทีนะในรูปลักษณะสภาวะหรือพฤติกรรมทั้งหลายทั้งปวงการเป็นการอยู่ทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างทั้งทางโลกทางธรรมนะทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างที่ไม่ได้นำพากันดับกระดับไปด้วยกันว่างก็ว่างไปด้วยกันทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างอโหสิอโหสิอโหสิ May the karma of misleading oneself and others, whether it is in the matter of the mundane or spirituality, through certain conditions or through behaviors, within living lifestyles, and everything, it is not leading one another in the way of extinction to extinction altogether, not in the way of leading one another through emptiness and emptiness altogether.
ทุกสิ่งทุกอย่างอโหสิอโหสิอโหสิ
May everything be forgiven,
สิ่งที่ไม่ได้จบช่วยกัน
not helping one another towards ending,
พากันก่อเกิดไปเรื่อยปรุงแต่งไปเรื่อย
constantly leading towards arising and fabricating of the mind,
หลงไหลไปเรื่อย
constantly being infatuated on and on,
กลายเป็นกรรมเป็นเวรวิบากมากมายมหาศาลนะ
until tremendously create karma and its cycle.